Hey everyone, welcome back. ICRC83 here on YouTube, doing another review today. If you're new to the channel, this is mostly a channel where I do really honest, straightforward reviews on different RC cars and trucks, big air bashing, and sometimes some wrenching videos, how-tos on how to fix different things. So today it's another review. So if you live where I do in New England, you know that bashing season only lasts so long. Unless you're wanting to bash in the snow, which is possible, then you're mostly confined to like spring and summer time frame, some fall. But once you get a little bit further into fall, the ground starts getting hard, it gets cold out, and that's when you start breaking things.
Snap the pillow ball right out of the hub. One jump, done. Oh my god, dude, look at this thing. Ah, there it is. Oh. Yep, can't bash in the cold.
I've done plenty of that, trust me. The plastic just gets so brittle in these cold temperatures out here that you just really, it's not as fun. So if you're in California or other places of the US where it doesn't get so cold, I'm envious. I appreciate that you guys can bash all year long and not worry about this. But out here in bitter New England winters, not as fun. So for that reason, I was looking for something I could use in the winter time. So what I came up with was 10th scale carpet tracks. I happen to have a carpet track near me at RC Madness that's pretty cool, and although I haven't run it much, I'm thinking about getting into it and just testing it out. A 10th scale two-wheel drive buggy seemed to be that fit. However, if you know anything about those, you're generally looking at a kit race buggy that takes a long time to build. You kind of need to know what you're doing. They're not cheap. And so what I was doing was looking at ready to run 10th scale buggies, and there were not many. Unfortunately, there were like 2 that I found. There may be more, but what I found were 2. The RB10 from Team Associated. The other option is the Serpent Spyder SRX-2. Both 10th scale buggies, both two-wheel drive, and both ready to run. So I went with the Serpent. All right, so here it is, guys. One difference between this and the Team Associated RB10 is that the RB10 is rear motor. This is mid motor. Mid motors can handle a little better on a carpet track, so that's why I went with, that's part of the reason why I went with this. Man, for a second this scared me. This was the first thing I saw, and I thought for a second I ordered the kit on accident. But alas, it is the real thing, the ready to run. So right off the bat, one thing I noticed is this turnbuckle and this end on it here is disconnected. I've read that these actually are a common problem for this truck, that they pop off or break. Looks like they're on the back, but not a good sign that it's already popped off. I can just snap it back in. Although once they come off once, I've learned that they usually tend to come off again and again. So we'll see if that becomes a persistent problem, and I may have to change this. The radio here is made by Dragon RC. 2.4 gigahertz, looks pretty standard. Comes with some extra plastic parts here, as well as the Dean's connector here. Jeez, that body really sticks on there. Okay, here it is. All right, here's the motor. They said it's a 3000 kV motor, and the servo here is sideways mounted. These tires are pretty nice. built for the carpet. Nice to not have to pre-glue those or mount those. All right, guys, so as cool as this buggy is, it seems like it's going to need some upgrades. So I'm going to run it as is on the track a little bit and just show you how that performs. But after that, I think it'd be time to give it some upgrades to make it perform a little better. So because it comes with only a 45 amp speed control here, that seems pretty weak to me. So I picked up this Hobbywing Quick Run 120 amp speed control, which is censored, whereas that is not censored. It was surprisingly cheap, about 50 bucks on Amazon and other places as well. I also got this Hobbywing motor. This is a 13.5 turn motor, and it's censored as well, so that'll be a censored system in there now. I'll show the difference between the new and the old servo later, but as far as the motor and speed control, I'll probably make a different video showing those at a different point. The servo is very weak, so I'll be putting in this low profile, high torque servo here by Eco Power, $40 servo. And last but not least, I'll put in a new receiver, since it only comes with this, which is good for some people, a regular radio, but I like to use this DX6C radio from Spectrum. It served me well, and it's got all my trucks listed on it, so that's the beauty of this. And then I went ahead and ordered on Amine. You can order a lot of extra parts for this, replacement parts or even upgrades. And given that this rod end was popped out the second I opened it from the box, I have a feeling that's going to be a problem. So ordered some new rod ends and the turnbuckles here, arms, and some other things. Another option is to go on the Serpent website, and when you're on there, you can either click the ready to run buggy. They have plenty of RC cars, more than I realized actually, and then, or you can even pick from the kit version of this buggy, where you can get some upgraded parts for it as well. So it's nice that this comes with a painted body. The wing itself is not painted, so I'm gonna put some paint on this and see how it looks. And here's how it looks. I think it looks pretty cool with the black. This body is a pain to get on. That is a flaw. It's hard to get it over this. It's hard to line up these holes back here. And this is without a battery in. Here's how it looks with the black wing. Pretty cool. So look at this. Not very fast with the stock servo here. That's as fast as it goes. So we'll have to definitely swap that out. It's not super fast, doesn't seem to have a lot of high end, but it's lightweight and does enough to get it around the track. So like I couldn't clear that triple.
So it's not sounding good right now. So I'm gonna take off this pinion cover and see if that maybe is the problem. Unfortunately, it might have actually stripped it a little. That wasn't long. Ground down here on the side. So now I'm gonna need a new spur gear. So I ended up just calling it quits on this spur gear. I've got to order a new one on A-main and possibly get a slipper clutch with it. But in the meantime, I have got the new servo in, new speed control, and new motor. This is what the new servo looks like. So it's not the fastest in the world, but still, that's quite a bit faster than it was before. All right, so the takeaways are that this is a pretty good little buggy, especially for starting out. For anyone who's looking to go an easy route to get on the track in the winter time, on the carpet track, or even the turf, this is a good setup. I will say it's a little misleading when you think about how much you're going to actually spend, though, given that the truck itself is about 265, 270 bucks, and then you add on some parts to get it faster and a little more capable on the track. It adds up to almost 500 bucks. And so then you got to ask yourself, is it worth going the ready to run route, or should you just get a kit? But I think even still, this is going to be cheaper. You can spend a lot of money getting a kit buggy. And for me, the fact that I didn't have to put it together was a big advantage. And I'm not trying to race. I'm just having some fun in the winter time and driving around on the track. So for me, this actually works out pretty well. Another downside was the ability to get parts. So that's the downside. You got to kind of stock up on spare parts like these. So overall, though, pretty cool little buggy, and you saw it handled pretty well on the track. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it helped. If you liked it, please subscribe, like, comment, all of that. That all kind of shows me that I'm doing something that people like and I should do more. I appreciate it. Take care.